experience standing up for human rights? How might this make you a better council person or mayor? Please speak to your experience standing up for human rights. How might this make you a better council person or mayor?
I have a unique experience. I was raised in the Mississippi Delta in the 1940s and 50s. I saw the South as it was from Reconstruction. When I was being raised, my mother was Miss May and my father was Mr. Frank. I saw the South as it was. I then saw it go through the Civil Rights era in the 1960s. And it's talking to me enough. And then I've seen it lately as it's come back around and what we've got now in the area of civil rights. So I have this unique, not everybody in the world has it, perspective of what it was, how it changed, and what it became. I've served on the Human Rights Commission with the City Council as liaison, but I always remember how the South used to be and what it is now and how we treat racial differences in the United States now, and it is so different and so much better. Thank you.
John, you're next. Thank you. John.
My sister Kathy is in the audience and she can verify this. As far as the question about fairness and race, Jack Weber, my dad, Rose Weber, my mother, who are both deceased, would not have it any other way. When we were brought up, very strictly, I guess, in that way, in respecting other people, giving them a fair break. And what I have done since then, I've been on the Choto for fair and affordable housing. We're trying to put something together there. I've spent time with my sister helping Sojourners Alliance. And consequently, I think my personal track record and the way that I had voted when I was on the council previously would essentially speak for itself, and I'm quite proud of it.
Thank you. Over here to Nancy.
Moscow has the reputation of being Idaho's only inclusive community, and I was integral to getting that status through the National League of Cities. I'm a regular attendee at Martin Luther King Jr. breakfasts and community walks. Last night, my husband and I were at Gonzaga to see Linda Paul, a former city council member, awarded the Eva Lastman Award for saying no to hate. I routinely go to grade schools and high school and the university to speak with students about human rights considerations and especially education for girls as it will relate to their leadership potential and role models they might see in our own community as well as around the country. The Poverty on the Palouse series that I initiated says that, you know, regardless of one's socioeconomic status in our community, you have all the rights that anyone else does, and we want to provide for everyone. I kind of bristle up with that term, it's just couch surfing students, because it's all of us together. Shaking words are very important as well.
Bill?
Human rights is a simple thing. Do unto others as you would want done unto yourself. And that puts it in a nutshell. I practiced that my entire life. No barriers. Do unto others as you want to have done to yourself. And that's what it's all about, folks. Us doesn't matter. Male, female, race, creed, color, whatever. It does not matter. Now, we've got everything in place in Moscow for that right now. We came a long ways. Moscow is a fine, exemplary town of that. But just keep that in mind. Do unto others as you want done to yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, I've had very precious little formal experience in the area of human rights. I have entered into work with various groups around town decades back, the Sojourners, Stonewall people. I've worked with them. But as with John's case, I grew up in a house where it was pretty much a non-issue. It just wasn't talked about. You just treated everybody well, treated them the way you would want to be treated too. And I got a real perspective on it when I was in the Peace Corps in Africa, where everybody over there was treating this privileged white guy in town much better than he really deserved. And I thought that was a real twist on the perspective that taught me a few lessons about how do you treat other people? And it's just like that, with dignity and respect. It's something that I'd like to see perpetrated throughout this town and across the city council and all the other bodies that run this town. Everybody should treat everybody else with appropriate respect, listen to what they have to say, and learn from them.
Rebecca?
Well, it's mostly through, excuse me, my work at the Women's Center that I've worked a lot with human rights, although I've done a lot of event organizing in town and the community in my church. I worked 6 years at the University of Idaho Women's Center as the program coordinator for the programs for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender students. It also came to include faculty, administration, and staff people. And over that 6 years of time, I arranged a lot of, I did a lot of trainings for folks to try to raise the climate on campus, which I think I succeeded at. Created a lot of events, programs, educational programs, brought speakers, but mainly, bottom line, made the University of Idaho and I think in relationship, the city be a more open and accepting place for folks. The Women's Center, we did a lot of,
Thank you. John, you're going to be first. This is a question for all candidates, and